What's going on, everybody? Good evening and happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of Unbound, your daily dive into the news, sport, politics, and all the things they don't always want to tell you. I'm your host, Jey Morales, coming at you live Mondays and Fridays at 6:30, but tonight, it was got a busy day, so we'll be, back on at 6:30 on Friday for sure. 6:30 for Friday. Right now we don't have a co-host. We're by ourselves tonight, so we're gonna do the best that we can by ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. So hang on there. So Monday to Fridays at 6:30 after the day. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we'll be doing it. I think we're gonna do it at the same time, about 6:30 still, for people who can't. Certain co-hosts that can't make it, so we gotta fix up some time and we'll make it work. Today we got a crazy lineup. Uber getting sued, everybody. Uber is getting sued by some negligence for people with disability. Boxing history being made over the weekend, Saturday with Crawford and Canelo fight. That was a very interesting fight. But I don't want to spoil it. Let's see here. The Bills Mafia making headlines on Sunday. Second game of the AFC East being won by the Bills. Venezuela getting serious again. Issues with Venezuela. Talking about Puerto Rico and stuff like that. We're gonna get right into that. High-profile funeral also happening soon. That's another topic that we'll be talking about tonight. And some wrestling legend makes headlines over the weekend, and not by the good things that you guys think that's happening. Yeah, it's a lot, but that's why you're here, right? To get this information and enjoy the night with me. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell, and drop a comment below. What up, Eddie? I see you commenting. Tell me which story you're most hyped about, and I'll be reading your thoughts live. So don't hold back. Make sure you leave me your thoughts here, okay? Especially how I did by myself and how I deliver this podcast to you today. Thank you. All right, moving to the Department of Justice Department of Justice versus Uber lawsuits over the weekend. All right, let's kick things off. So Uber is in hot water. The Department of Justice just filed a lawsuit against Uber, accusing the ride-sharing giant of denying rides to passengers with service dogs and wheelchairs. It's not just a few isolated cases. This is systematic. So what's happening is that passengers report drivers canceling trips once they see a service dog. Some riders were charged cleaning fees, even though nothing was spilled or damaged in their vehicle. Uber platform allegedly allowed these denials to happen repeatedly, despite their own policies. A passenger... example is like a passenger needing a ride to a medical appointment was denied 3 times in 1 week because of their service dog. Another rider with a wheelchair was charged $50 cleaning fee for sitting in a vehicle. No mess, no damage, just discrimination. The Department of Justice is seeking $125 million in damages and a complete overhaul of Uber accessibility policies. This isn't just a lawsuit; it's just a push for accountability and equity in ride-sharing services. Have you ever faced discrimination, guys, on a ride-sharing app like Uber or Lyft? I want to know that. Or maybe a driver refused your service animal? Drop your comment drop your story in the comments, and I'll make sure next show, like tomorrow, I'll read some of the comments. All right. This could be a game changer, though, for accessibility nationwide. Companies can't ignore disabled riders anymore. And honestly, it's about time. No one should have to fight just to get from point A to point B, you know? But enough from lawsuits, let's go to lawsuits to legends. Let's jump into the ring for Crawford versus Canelo. So over the weekend, Terence Crawford and Canelo, if you didn't catch the fight, you missed history being made. Terence Bud Crawford went toe-to-toe with Canelo Alvarez. In the result, Crawford shocked the world. He's now the first male boxer in four-belt era to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes. Let that sink in. 3 weight classes. All undisputed. That's not just a skill. That's a legacy. Round by round breakdown. In the early rounds, we got Crawford started smart, keeping distance, using his footwork to control the center of the ring. Canelo tried to close the distance, but Crawford's jab and angles were on point, landing clean combinations without taking much damage. In the middle round, Crawford started mixing in his power shots, right crosses and hooks, catching Canelo off guard. This is where the fight shifted. Crawford dedicated the pace, and Canelo counter punches were largely neutralized. About the late rounds, Crawford conditioning showed, and he kept the high output, landing punches while Canelo energy started to wane. The precision and accuracy were surgical. Every punch was calculated. Key stats, Crawford landed 35% of his power punches, remarkable percentage against someone like Canelo, Canelo's jab was limited to under 15 effective connections per round, showing Crawford defense was elite. Total punches landed, Crawford was at 215, Canelo was at 178, clear advantage. Crawford's win wasn't a fluke. The fight was definitely demonstrated. Elite footwork and ring IQ. Crawford avoided major shots while staying in striking range. Versatility, switching stances, mixing speed and power, keeping Canelo guessing. Mental toughness, he stayed calm under the pressure of Canelo's reputation and on the big stage, of course. What I want you guys to do is, listen. Social media exploded from analysis praising Crawford, tactical genius, to fans debating whether Canelo should consider a new strategy for future fights. This fight doesn't just add a win for Crawford's record, it cements him in one of the greatest of this generation. And for Canelo, it's a wake-up call. Adjustments are needed if he wants to stay at the top, you know what I'm saying? Who do you think had the better overall performance, Crawford or Canelo? Drop your vote in the comments below. I'll be reading opinions in the next episode, and we might even do a special segment breaking down the fans' perspectives. From boxing to NFL, Bill fans, you already know what's good and what's coming next. Buffalo Bills versus the Jets over the weekend. This one was a statement game. Buffalo dominated the Jets 3-10. Josh Allen went 28 of 38 for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns. James Cook ran 132 yards with 2 touchdowns. And Gabriel Davis added 91 yards and a key touchdown. Pure dominance. Jets struggled. Justin Field left in the second quarter with a concussion and offense stalled. Bills defense lockdown. Von Miller late sack sealed the win. Key plays. Allen hits Davis on a 45-yard sideline throw. Set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Cook's 38-yard touchdoshdown run juked 2 defenders to the end zone. Von Miller critical sack late in the fourth. Defense showing championship level time. Some recap: Bills total yards was 428. Jets total yards was 275. In time of possession, Bills held the ball for 34 minutes. Buffalo isn't just competing in the AFC East. They're sending a loud, clear message. Bills fans, favorite part, Jet fans, where did the team go wrong? Comment below. All right? Don't miss the next Bills. Don't miss the next Bills game this Thursday, September 18th, 2025. What is it at 8:15 p.m. Make sure to check that out. It's against the Miami Dolphins. Mark your calendars. This one's going to be intense. Gotta make sure that they're sending that statement. Josh Allen is sending that statement. He ain't fucking around this season. I see the Bills. I see the Bills heading it. I see the Bills doing really good this season. But from football to global headlines, Venezuela is on the move again, ladies and gentlemen. Venezuela tensions and Maduro vows. Maduro's son vows that he will be defending his country. Let's hear it out. So, Nicolas Maduro's son, Nicolas Maduro Guerra, vowed to defend Venezuela with his life after U.S. forces deployed nearby. He's making it clear Venezuela is serious and the government is relying all its resources. Plan Independencia 200 mobilizes military and militias and police and civilians. Spans 284 battlefronts, covering the entire country. Local volunteers, including civilians, are being trained to support national defense. This isn't just a rhetoric. The Venezuela government is preparing for serious escalation if the situation continues. Analysts say it's a signal to the U.S. and neighboring countries that Venezuela is not to be underestimated. Oh, I'm hearing that there's echo. Turn the reverb down. You got echo, bud. Oh, turn the reverb off. We'll see. We'll see what we're having around here. Oh man. Hello. No. So much. Well, we'll be right back. Is the echo still there? Is the question. Is the echo still there, guys? That's all I want to know. And if it is, we're gonna have to end it. Is it? Hmm. Welcome back, everybody. I hope that fixed it. I don't know if it did or not yet. I just want to make sure that you guys tell me that it is fixed, and then there isn't no problem. Because if we're still having a double voice, we're gonna have to fix. We're gonna have to end the stream, and I'll have to figure out what happened. I think it sounds good. I just listened to it. Sorry for this whole situation, guys. I did not mean to give you 20 minutes of echo. Um, I would start this over if you want. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll start over from the beginning so this echo does not bother you or anybody else who's going to watch the stream. And again, I'm very sorry about it all. Sorry for the quietness again, guys. Just making sure that this audio is working and it sounds amazing. All right, let's continue along then. If I see a couple comments saying just start over while I keep doing this, I'll start over. I don't even know where I was. Oh my god. Anyway, let's keep moving along, right? From global tensions, wherever I was, man. My goodness gracious. All right, so Plan Independencia 200. Let me make sure I got this up and running here, and I can see the comments. All right, the comments look good. The comments look good. Thank you everybody for letting me know. I'm sorry again for the mic problem. Oh, but here we are. Like I said, perfection is key the more we do this. So thank you again for your patience. Thank you again for tuning in. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell to check me out every day when I do this. All right, guys? Thank you very much again. All right. So this isn't just a rhetoric for what's happening with Venezuela, right? With mobilizing, they mobilized about they mobilized a bunch of military, militia, police, and civilians. Spans about 280 battlefronts covering the entire country. Local volunteers, including civilians, are being trained to support national defenses. This isn't just a rhetoric. The Venezuela government is preparing for serious escalation if the situation continues. Analysis say that it's a signal to the U.S. and neighboring countries that Venezuela is not to be underestimated. Do you think this is a political posturing, or could tensions really escalate into a larger conflict? And make sure you leave me a comment below of what you guys think about Venezuela and their movement of militarization of the country. And also, I'm going to be finding some sources real quick right after we're done going through all these. I'm going to try to find sources, see if I can find anything that's up to date tonight before we head out for the evening. And we'll get everything going, all right? Let's see here. Venezuela has faced political and economic crisis for years, but this step shows willingness to defend sovereignty aggressively. For the international community, it is a reminder that even smaller nations can be significant strategic leverage when they mobilize effectively. Venezuela military over 110,000 active personnel bolstered by militias and volunteers. Recent U.S. military deployment aimed at deterrence but perceived as provocative. Potential impact. Regional tension could affect trade, migration, and geopolitical stability. But going from global tension to national headlines, here's what's happening with Charlie Kirk's funeral. So Charlie Kirk's funeral arrangements. All right. Moving into U.S. political headlines now. This one's heavy. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, was tragically assassinated September 10th, 2025, as you all know. His funeral has now been scheduled for Sunday, September 21st, 2025, at a State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. This isn't just any funeral, it's a high-profile funeral with expected attendees including Donald J. Trump, J.D. Vance, and other major political figures. Security is extremely tight, not only because of the profile, but because of ongoing political tensions. Have you ever attended a public or high-profile funeral? What was the energy like? I want you guys to leave me a comment below, because remember, I'll be reading some of these stories throughout my episodes. So make sure to leave a comment so I know, and I'll go through it with, next episode. This funeral is more than a ceremony. It's a reflection of political legacy, influence, and public perception. Kirk's impact on youth activism and political organization was significant, and this gathering will be a mount of both mourning and reflection. Turning Point USA, an organization founded in 2012, influential in conservative student activism. Kirk's assassination sent shockwaves through political circles and nations. Public response has been intense, as you guys already know, with debates over security, influence, and media coverage, and a bunch of other more things. Funerals like this don't just honor the deceased, they highlight broader societal issues, from political polarization to the dangers faced by political figures. This one is particularly telling because of the mix of young activists, major politicians, and high media retention. But let's go now from politics to wrestling world. Here's an update on WWE legend Jerry the King Lawler. Wrestling fans, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler suffered a stroke recently at 75 years old. This isn't just his third stroke in the past decade, but the good news is that he's recovering at home, walking, talking, in stable condition. Lawler isn't just a wrestler, he's a legend from the ring to commentary. He shaped the industry what it is today. Not just him, but Jim Ross as well. They did it both together, hand in hand. Fans across the world are showing love, posting clips and stories from his decades-long career. Wrestling fans, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Jerry the King Lawler moment? Whether it's a match, a promo, a commentary, drop it in the comments. I'll feature your responses on the next show. Past strokes of Jerry the King Lawler's had strokes about 2015, 2017, and I think just recently 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Showing the importance of monitoring health as you age, even for athletes. WWE and wrestling communities have rallied to support him, showing the tight-knit nature of this. Lawler's story is a reminder that even toughest legends for real challenges. It's inspiring to see fans, the wrestling community, come together and support. And it's a moment to reflect on health, legacy, and the impact that one person can have on an entire industry. All right. So, out of everything that we just went through today, guys, let's see what is their updates about. Maybe something on Jerry the King Lawler. See if anything has popped up. Let's see here. Jerry the King Lawler. Hey, look at this. Jerry Lawler speaks for the first time after suffering stroke. Jerry the King Lawler has spoken for the first time since suffering a stroke recently at his home in Florida. The WWE Hall of Famer was confirmed by his daughter to have suffered a medical issue at one of his homes and was subsequently taken into a hospital where it was confirmed he had a stroke. The stroke was Lawler's third, and having also had one in 2018 and another 2023. In 2012, during an episode of Monday Night Raw, the Memphis legend suffered a heart attack at the commentary desk after taking a serious elbow drop from Dolph Ziggler in an earlier match on the show. Lawler commented for the first time since being admitted to the hospital. The King thanked his fans for their support during his hospital stay and explained that he didn't even recognize his own family members when they came to visit him. Quote, I remember lying in bed in the hospital when people that I knew, like family members, came in and I didn't even recognize them. People kept coming out of nowhere to thank me and pray for me and everything. And all that means a great deal to me. And I want to thank them all for that. The King's doctor confirmed that Lawler's eyesight had been seriously affected following the stroke, rendering the former AWA World Heavyweight Championship unable to recognize his own house when he returned home from the hospital. At 75 years of age, Lawler seldom appears on WWE televisions anymore. Especially with his health problems over the last few years, he is still under a Legends contract with the company, but his broadcast contract came to an end in early 2024. He appeared on Raw in Memphis in August 2023 and an episode of NXT in November of the same year. Lawler has been involved with WWE since 1993, both commentators where he formed a legendary duo with fellow Hall of Famer Jim Ross as an in-ring competitor. Having memorable feuds with the likes of Bret, the Hitman Hart, Jake the Snake Roberts, ECW, and Taz, William Shatner inducted Lawler into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007, the same year as his broadcast partner and best friend good old JR was also inducted. So I'm glad that he's in good health. I'm glad that he's home, where a man should be, or any human being should be, after a stroke or any health problems. You know, the best place to be after any moment is at home. So I'm very happy to hear that. Let's see what else we got here real quick. Let's see what we got on Nicolas Maduro. See if they got any updates real quick. Okay. Sorry for the quietness, you guys. I am trying to keep up the best that I can. Here's a quick ad. You know, make sure to check out the I wish I had it up so then it doesn't. Give me one moment. I got it here. I got it ready. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We got it here somewhere. Give me a second here. Here we go. Y'all ready for this? Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. Here we go. Is the K-Ville Hotel and Tavern, Kleinfeltersveld, PA. They're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from Wednesday and Thursday they're open from 4 to 9. Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 8. Make sure to come in and say hello to Seth and Jamie, where they'll greet you with open arms. Make sure that if you need to make a reservation, you hit them up at 717-949-8413, 717-949-8413 at 2647 Heidelberg Avenue in Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania. Man, if you've been watching this since episode 1, today has been the first day I finally said their restaurant name correctly. My goodness gracious. Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania. Yeah. All right. Moving right along now. Take that, producer Mike. I fixed the echo in the same episode if you're watching this. My colleague, producer Mike, I'm on another show called The Movement with producer Mike Presents. That's the YouTube. If you look up Jessup Show Legacy, it should pop up as well. I used to be in a show called The Jessup Show for the last 4 or 5 years. We did a great job, great entertainment. Shout out to the whole Jessup Crew podcast. As always, Eddie Weber is always present here. My dad, who's always present here as well, he's also part of the Jessup Crew. And Keith, Seth and Jamie, Crawface, so many people. Lando. I can go for days because it's over 30 people. it's over 30 people. The Bucklands, making sure that the Bucklands get that shout out. Buckland, miss you, buddy. All right. Let's see. Is this recent? Is this one recent? All right. Here we go. Maduro calls U.S. attack on a boat a heinous crime. Then Trump announces another. The Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro said that the Trump administration was trying to start a war in the Caribbean. Here we go. The deadly attack President Trump ordered early this month on what he said was a drug smuggling Venezuelan boat was a heinous crime. Venezuelan president said on Monday, just before Mr. Trump boasted of destroying a second boat. Speaking to reporters in Caracas, the Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro said that the September 2 attack, which killed 11 people, violated U.S. and international laws. If the United States believed that the boat's passengers were drug traffickers, as American officials have claimed, they should have been captured, he said. Mr. Maduro called the action a military attack on civilians who were not at war and were not military threatening any country. And said that the United States was trying to goad Venezuela into a major war. The American goal, Mr. Maduro said, was the regime change for oil, not drug interdiction, which the Trump administration has said is a main goal in the region. Not long after he spoke, Mr. Trump announced on social media that the U.S. military had conducted another strike on a Monday morning against positively identified extraordinary violent drug trafficking cartels and narco-terrorism in international waters. Heading from Venezuela that attacked 3 people, he said he justified the second strike like the first one by saying that the cartels transporting drugs pose a threat to international security. Excuse me real quick, I'll take a quick sip. If I had somebody to destroy this quietness time. All right. Getting that, I don't even know if I can show this because I don't want to get a sponsor problem. Something else. Oh, God. Okay. Let's see here. What do we have? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. What was I? There was no immediate response from the Maduro government to the latest attack. The day events marked the continued escalation in tensions between the two nations. The United States began moving warships and troops into the Caribbean near Venezuela in late August, a move Mr. Trump has said is aimed to countering drug trafficking and protecting American lives from illicit drugs like cocaine and fentanyl. Be warned, if you are transporting drugs that can kill Americans, we are hunting you. He wrote on his website, Truth Social. In a statement, Anna Kelly, a White House spokeswoman, said Mr. Trump, in ordering the first strike, had acted in line with the laws of armed conflict to protect our country from those trying to bring poison to our shores. Evil narco-terrorists are trying to poison our homeland as over 100,000 Americans die from overdoses every year, she said, adding that Mr. Trump was delivering on his promise to take on the cartels and eliminate these national security threats from murdering more Americans. After U.S. forces bombed a boat on September 2nd, Mr. Trump said that those on the vessel were members of the Tren de Agua, a Venezuelan gang that they had been transporting drugs in international waters. The New York Times later reported that the boat had altered its course and appeared to have turned around before the attack began because the people on board had spotted a military aircraft following them. The Venezuelan government had released almost no information about the 11 men and has claimed that a video of the bombing was fake. The vast majority of cocaine in Latin America comes from Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia, and almost none is produced in Venezuela. While some cocaine headed to the United States leaves South America through the Caribbean, which borders Venezuela. Most of it leaves from the Pacific, which borders Colombia, Ecuador, and other nations, according to data from Colombia, the United States, and the United Nations. According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, most recent public data, about 74% of cocaine shipment in 2019 were transported through the Pacific, mostly from Colombia and Ecuador, compared with 24% through the Caribbean. Okay. Cocaine is a dangerous drug. Of course it is. Cocaine is a dangerous drug that can have serious consequences, according to the public health experts. But fentanyl has a much higher overdose rate. Venezuela plays almost no role in the production of trade of fentanyl, which is almost certainly produced in Mexico, with chemicals imported from China, according to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. The Justice Department and the Congressional Research Service many legal specialists, including retired top military lawyers, have called it a crime for the United States to summarily kill suspected smugglers as if they were wartime combatants rather than arrest them and try them in criminal court. Drug trafficking is not an offense punishable by death in the United States, and Congress has not authorized a war against cartel. In ordering the strikes on people, it causes it causes or it accuses of drug trafficking. Mr. Trump used the military in a way had no clear legal precedent or basis, they say. The White House has not provided a detailed legal rationale for strikes, but it has suggested that using deadly military force was permissible under the laws of armed conflict to defend the country from drugs, because the administration says 100,000 Americans die annually from overdoses. So there's that topic about Maduro's recent response. While this gets going with that, let's see what else do we have here. Let me check the comments real quick. Check the comments. Shout out to everybody that is still watching. Thank you very much. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. So here's a video, and I don't know if I'm even allowed to do this. I don't know if I'm even allowed to show this real quick. You know what? To be safe, I'm not going to show this. Alright, here we go. I think I have it. Give me a second. I just want to make sure that we have this. Let's see here. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see.
Means there's no drugs coming by sea, but they do come by land. And you know what? We're telling the cartels right now, we're going to be stopping them too. When they come by land, we're going to be stopping them the same way we stop the boats.
Es una agresión diplomática y es una agresión en camino de carácter militar. Y Venezuela está facultada por las leyes internacionales para hacerle frente integralmente a esta agresión. No es una tensión, es una agresión.
So yeah. I know I'm coming in twice again. Yeah, I hope not. Let me know. But yeah, that's what's happening with Maduro and Donald Trump. So if you're watching this and you're seeing the picture of, you know, Donald Trump and his buddy Maduro drinking, it's because they already had a drink and converse about how many boats is Donald Trump gonna... No, I'm just joking with you. I don't know nothing. It's just a joke. I'm not on each side or whatever. I'm just joking. Let's see. Before I forget, there was something else I wanted to look up, and now it's not coming to mind. Let's see here. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. Oh, on that producer Mike show called The Movement. It's every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We talk about cams around the world, um, trips, wherever you want to go this NFL season. We talk about that. If you want to leave me a comment and a suggestion of what game you wanted to go see here in the next few months of football, you let me know. We will get it ready for you. But the only place that we will be talking about those things will be on The Movement, Producer Mike Presents YouTube page. Okay, let's see here. It's just hard as heck when you're doing it by yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. And the docket team hooked it up today, so thank you, docket team. Ah, now I remember. Uh-huh. This one's a good one. You guys maybe not going to like it, but we'll talk about it anyway. How's everybody doing tonight? Make sure you leave me a comment. And don't be afraid to subscribe, alright? It's not as boring as you truly think. Okay. Alright, here we go. And I'm sorry. Again, some people might not like it, so I'm sorry. Here we go. Donald Trump. Today, Donald Trump misses Charlie Kirk's Kennedy Center vigil for a pre-planned weekend at Bedminster Golf Club. All right, here we go. Donald Trump missed Charlie Kirk's massive vigil at the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. The president opted out of attending the vigil for Kirk, a longtime supporter of his who was fatally shot at a college event on September 10th, as you guys already know, which was held in Washington, D.C. on Sunday night. Instead using that window of time to travel home from the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, Kirk's vigil began at 6 p.m. on Sunday, September 14th at the Kennedy Center, roughly 1/2 mile from the White House. Trump returned from his golf course club to the White House around 8 p.m. The president still plans to attend Kirk's official memorial in Arizona on September 21st. Though Trump was not an attendee at the vigil, many Trump administration officials and MAGA Congress members attended to pay their respects to the late conservative activist. Notable Trump allies at the vigil included House Speaker Mike Johnson, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. At the vigil, Leavitt spoke for the president, nothing that Trump loved Kirk so much. RFK Jr. also added that he and Kirk were spiritual brothers and soulmates. One day after Kirk's death, Trump traveled to New York City for the anniversary of 9/11 and attended a Yankees game. He did a live interview with Fox and Friends on Friday morning, then traveled to Bedminster for the remainder of the weekend. While in New Jersey, Trump attended the Hope Through Education Gala on Saturday, September 13th. At the event, the president addressed Kirk's assassination and Tyler Robinson. The individual accused of the shooting. It's unclear whether Trump actually golfed during his recent visit to the club, which he was frequently used as a summer home. Kirk and Trump were long-time allies. Kirk spoke in support of Trump at the 2024 Republican National Convention and is credited with galvanizing young people towards conservatism through his organization Turning Point USA, The Hill reported. Let me blow this up a little bit here. It's getting smaller for some reason. Trump has spoken at many events for Turning Point USA, and Kirk had been seen repeatedly at the White House since Trump returned to office in January. Hours after Kirk was shot, Trump broke the news that his friend had died, and the president later said he will award Kirk with a posthumous Medal of Freedom. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles called Kirk the highest profile MAGA person outside of of those that are working here and very much part of this MAGA family. And that's the article on that, ladies and gentlemen, on the recent news of Trump not making it to, it's not news, it's just something that has just popped up as of today at 3:49 p.m. of what had happened. Let's see here. See what we got. I got one more, and then we'll start cutting it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for how long we're taking today. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you the best of the best. All right. The best of the best. Where is it? Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Okay, let's see. All right. Russia, Belarus face terror. Labor. Oh my God! Let me get a drink. That wasn't a good one. Give me a second. I'll give you a good one. Russia, Belarus face terror. Label in U.S. over abducted Ukrainian children. With nearly 20,000 children still missing, U.S. lawmakers say that the legislation is about maximum pressure and about securing what they call a just end to the war. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators is pushing to bring Russia and Belarus as state sponsors of terrorism unless they return thousands of abducted Ukrainian children. The legislation unveiled on Capitol Hill would place Moscow in the same category as Iran, Syria, North Korea, and Cuba. The worst of the worst list of government accused of supporting terrorism. The move comes against the backdrop of one of the darkest chapters of the war between Russia and Ukraine, the mass kidnapping of children. Ukrainian officials and international watchdogs say Russia has abducted nearly 20,000 children, taking some from orphanage in occupied territory and sending others into Russia for adoption or indoctrination. Scripps News was the first to report on the stolen babies of Kherson in 2022 and has tracked the crisis ever since. At a press conference announcing the bill, Senator Lindsey Graham said Russia had earned the right to be added to America's official terror list. It's hard to get on that list. Well, let me tell you, Russia earned the right to be on that list, Graham said. Senators argue the destination is more than symbolic. Under U.S. law, the state sponsor of terrorism label automatically locks in bans on U.S. foreign aid, arms sales, dual-use technology exports, and requires Washington to oppose loans in international financial institutions. It could also it would also open the door for certain American victims of Russia-linked terror attacks to sue the Kremlin directly in U.S. courts. Scripps News International correspondent Jason Bellini asked Graham whether, if this law had already been in place, Russia President Vladimir Putin would have been able to travel to Alaska earlier this summer. That's a good question. Probably not, Graham replied. And let me just say this. I don't care how we end the war as long as we end it justly. The children come home. We tried the red carpet approach. It ain't working. There's more attacks today than were before. If you want to vote no, we will make you famous. Thun and Schumer need to bring this bill up soon so we can tell Europe and the rest of the world, follow our lead. The White House already maintains sweeping actions against Russia, but most are imposed by executive order and could theoretically be rolled back by a future president. The state sponsor of terrorism designation would embed new restriction into law, making them harder to reverse. With nearly 20,000 children still missing, senators say the legislation is about maximum pressure and about to securing what they call a just end to the war. So that's what's happening since 2022. 20,000 children were taken by the Russians, and God knows what the hell they're doing. Sorry for saying it like that. We don't know what the fuck they're doing. We don't know what the fuck they're doing. See what else we have here in the lineup. Oh, I promise this last one, it's about kids and what they're doing now, besides using smartphones. I don't know if you guys heard about that. The kids not using smartphones anymore since the ban of smartphones in schools. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Okay, here we go. What old tech have students turn to in the wake of smartphone bans in schools? My goodness, man. Where's the co-hosts? Somebody help. Here we go. Smartphone bans have surged in schools across the country, but many students are lamenting the loss of access to their music in between classes. So they've turned to the technology of yesteryear to fill the gap. Many students took the internet or their parents' basements to find an old music player that they could take to school. Mike Givens, 51, runs a business selling refurbished iPods online, and sales increased significantly this summer. He sold 68 devices during a single week in the end of July, compared to 22 in the same period last year. He believes young students faced with an impending school phone ban were behind the surge. I've seen people walking around with CD players, and someone also has a Walkman. Sebastian Wall, a 17-year-old whose school initiated a smartphone ban this year, told the New York Times. One student in Missouri discovered his mother's old iPod Nano and was excited to discover Adele music already loaded onto it. And a 16-year-old in New Hampshire ordered a cassette player when he came across a box of his father's old cassette tapes so he could play them for his crew team to get them pumped before practice. So yeah, that's the news on that, man. Kids are going back. They're going back. They're going back to CDs. They're going back to... Who remembers the freaking Zune? There was Zune. There was MP3 players. iPod Nanos. So many devices out there. So many devices. Leave a comment below. What did you take to school to listen to music? A CD player? Like the earliest thing. Tell me from the earliest to current, or what did you end up taking to school? I remember when I went to school, in middle school, I had a CD player first before I had to save up almost a whole year to buy an iPod Nano. And shoving a CD player in your pocket back then wasn't as hard because, back then we dressed in, baggy jeans, like U.S. Polo baggy jeans, the carpenter jeans. If you know what I'm talking about, we be rocking with some nice, with a long t-shirt that went almost to the mid of your thigh. And anyway, you shoved that in there, and then you tried to get not these type of headphones, but the ones with the bud. So you would shove it, and I had long hair back then. I would shove it through here, loop it around my ear, and put it in my ear, and then move my hair a little forward. Nobody would know. But those were the days, man. Those were the days. Well, after the CD player, I still ended up doing the same thing with the iPod. That was just a little bit more easier. Sometimes I would sometimes I would get caught because I would play the music a little bit too loud, and then the other headphone would be, in your shirt facing outward or whatever, and the teacher would say, "Where's that noise coming from?" And it was your headset, making that noise. Oh, man, those were the days, though. Those were the days. Miss those days every day. Getting old sucks, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you can agree yourselves. Yeah, I bet you can agree yourselves. All right, let's see here. What else do we got? I think that's it. Well, here's the recap for today, right? For tonight that we talked about. Uber sued for accessibility violations. Crawford beat Canelo and made history over the weekend. Bills dominated the Jets. And don't forget to tune in September 18th to watch the Bills versus Miami Dolphins and see what happens there. I'm telling you, the Bills are putting in that work. Venezuela mobilizes and threatens the United States, as you heard. And then Charlie Kirk's funeral is set on the 21st of September. Can't remember now the time, but yeah, 21st of September, and I think the entrance is at 9? At 9, if I'm not mistaken? I'll tell you right now. If you really wanted to know, for those who are going to be maybe near Arizona, I want to let you know, at least so it's not it's not hard to find here. Where is it? Oh, my God. Come on, Venezuela. All right, so the Charlie Kirk's funeral is Sunday, September 21st, 2025 of this year, at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Make sure to attend that if you're out there, and leave your respects to Kirk and Kirk's family. And then Jerry the King Lawler, recovering from the stroke. Those are all the topics, plus some other topics that we talked about, international issues and tech. What else have we talked about? Oh, and updated news that happened tonight with everything else I have talked about, with Donald Trump and such. Which story hits you harder today? Like, which story hit you the hardest today? Make sure to leave a comment below. I might feature your response live tomorrow or the next day. If you're enjoying Unbound, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell. All right? And we're here Monday and Friday. Well, let me just say it like this now. We're going to be here Monday to Friday. All right? We're trying to shoot between the hours of 3:30 and 6:30. Those are the hours that we're trying to shoot for the show. Yeah. I got a meeting with these guys here tomorrow, so we'll figure that out for sure, all right? Before you go, a quick word about mental health. If you're stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed, call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or 1-800-662-4357. Help is always available 24/7. And remember, guys, you're not the only one that's going through something. We're all of us are going through something. Don't ever be afraid to go speak to somebody whenever you need it. There's many ways to talk to somebody besides the crisis line. There's applications and forms everywhere where you can speak to somebody. And I'm noticing I don't have myself in big mode. There we go. Ha ha! All right. And again, if you're looking for a place to relax, eat, and grab drinks, make sure to visit Seth and Jamie at the K-Ville Hotel and Tavern with amazing food, drinks, and vibes. Treat yourself, meet friends, and enjoy some downtown or downtime. All right? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with this. I wish I can put on regular music so, you know, you guys would enjoy. Because I know what to play, but YouTube does not like it. Again, shout out to everybody. Thank you for taking the time to check me out today. This was my first solo show, episode 5. All right. Hopefully on the next episode, we got a bigger crew ready to go, backing me up and me backing them up. And don't you worry. I want you to tune in and take it easy and take care of your mind and enjoy some good food. And I'll see you next show on Unbound.
But the queen rise to the top. Oh yeah.
My scores have gone tremendously up.
When